Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7, Text 34. Dhanasya tapasaha vapi dhanasya tapaso vapi yat chesta purtayoho phalam yachcheshta purtayoh phalam pravasa tasya yaha dharmaha pravasastasya yo dharmo yascha pumsa utapadi yascha pumsa utapadi dhanasya tapaso vapi yachcheshta purtayo phalam pravasastasya yo dharmo yascha pumsa utapadi. Pumsa utapadi pasovapi pumsayam palam asasya dharmo pumsa utapadi dhanasya tapasovapi chesta putayo palam pravasastasya yo dharmo tautapati. Dhanasya, of charity, tapasaha, of penance, vapi, lake, yat, that which, cha, and ishta, endeavor, purtayoho, of reservoirs of water, phalam, fruitive result, pravasastasya, one who is away from home, yaha, that which, dharmaha, duty, yaha cha, and which, pumsaha, of man, uta, describe, apadi, in danger. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Translation, please also describe the fruitive results of charity and penance and of digging reservoirs of water. Please describe the situation of persons who are away from home and also the duty of a man in an awkward position. Please repeat. Please also describe the fruitive results of charity and penance and of digging reservoirs of water. Please describe the situation of persons who are away from home and also the duty of a man in an awkward position. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The digging of reservoirs of water for public use is a great work of charity, and retiring from family life after 50 years of age is a great act of penance performed by the sober human being. Text 35, I will read it by myself. Yena va bhagavamstushe dharmayoni janardana sampriditati samprasidati va yesham etad akyahime anagha. Translation. O sinless one, because the personality of Godhead, the controller of all living entities, is the father of all religion, and all those who are candidates for religious activities, kindly describe how he can be completely satisfied. Purport. All religious activities are meant ultimately to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is the father of all religious principles. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, 4 kinds of pious men, the needy, the distressed, the enlightened and the inquisitive, approach the Lord in devotional service, and their devotion is mixed with material affection. But above them are the pure devotees, whose devotion is not tainted by any material tinges of fruitive work or speculative knowledge. Those who are only miscreants throughout their lives are compared to demons. They are bereft of all knowledge in spite of any academic educational career they may pursue. Such miscreants are never candidates for satisfying the Lord. Dasanstha Bhaktivedanta Purport. Ajnanathimiranthasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Navishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are listening to the further inquiries by Vidura to Maitreya Rishi. We have seen in the previous shlokas a lot of inquiries by Vidura, including topics like crossbreeding and varnas and various other topics. Like yesterday, somebody was showing me a small video. It is circulated in some youngsters group. That small snippet is about one guru talking about Hinduism, and he is also commenting on God. So he is saying in that snippet that basically he is saying there is no God, and also he is explaining that Hinduism is so confusing anyway. He is saying that it is extremely confusing and all those practices are there, but actually there is no God. This is a notion that everybody has about Hinduism. They all think that it is extremely confusing, contradictory, and sometimes doesn't make any sense probably. We'll see some people worshipping Tulasi, some people are worshipping Amla, some people worship banyan tree, and suddenly you see some people are digging reservoirs. Like here he is asking, Danasya tapaso vapi yat chesta. If somebody endeavors to dig a lake or a reservoir of water, what is the benefit? Everything will have a benefit because every action has a reaction. And some actions are pious. So it will bring some fruit. It'll bring some fruit. So Vidura knows all this. These practices are there from time immemorial. So that's why he is asking, what is the fruitive result of digging these lakes? Lakes are bodies of reservoir. So here, so we see in Hinduism all this. They worship water bodies. Once in 12 years, there will be some big celebrations of taking bath in a water body. Kumbh Mela, Ardha Kumbh Mela. In the south it is called Pushkaralu. And then some people do Sandhya Vandana, some people do Japa, some people do all this. There are so many variegated duties, sometimes which are called as dharma. Pravasastasya yo dharmo yascha pumsa utapadi. So we see some people are donating, some people are practicing austerities. Highly confusing. If somebody comes to this Hinduism, he won't get a clarity of what's going on. Should he do digging of lakes and water bodies, or should he worship Amla or banyan tree? It's a confusion. So that's why many gurus and many people think that Hinduism is very confusing. But actually, Hinduism is not confusing. It is very crystal clear, provided you approach Hinduism properly. If you want to get clarity in Hinduism, then you have to enter into it in a proper lineage or in a proper way. Here Vidura is saying, Enava Bhagavam Stushye Dharma Yoni Janardana. He uses one word called Dharma Yoni. That means the Yoni, the source of all the religious principles. And who is that Janardana? Is Krishna. So, if somebody accepts Krishna as the Dharma Yoni, source of all religious principles, then Hinduism becomes very simple. It becomes simplified. The mysticism of the Hindu religious practices and principles, everything becomes easy if somebody accepts Krishna as the Dharma Yoni, the source of all the religious principles. So Dharma Yoni Janardana is the controller. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, of course we know in the 10th canto, Shukadeva Goswami, he explains Krishna's pastimes. 10th canto is considered to be the face, the smiling face of the Supreme Lord. So in the end, after describing all the pastimes, in the end, Shukadeva Goswami, he brings out 5 super excellences of Krishna's personality. He explains 5 special features of Krishna which are not exhibited even by his other expansions and incarnations. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this verse, text 47, this is the summary of this 10th canto. So here these 5 super excellences are mentioned as Tidham Chakre Ruponam Yad Ajani Yadushu Swasvarit Pada Shaucham. The first super excellence is that Krishna's glories as Yadupati, the one who descended into Yadu dynasty, has eclipsed the glories of Ganges. Ganges, the glory of the Ganges is that it is accepted as the purifying, highly purifying, to touch the Ganges water, to take bath in it. But then the Lord who appeared in the Yadu, Ajani Yadushu Swasvarit Pada Shaucham, his glories as Yadupati has eclipsed these glories of Ganges. Then he mentions Vid Vit Snigdha Swarupam. Then Krishna has awarded liberation equally to his enemies as well as Snigdha to the gopis. Apparently, externally it appears that Krishna killed Kamsa and he embraced the gopis, but both of them have attained liberation. Of course, liberation has varieties. Kamsa attained one of the varieties of liberation, that is Sayudhya. But whereas gopis, they attained the highest liberation of being able to embrace Krishna and be with Krishna. Then Ajita Parashri Yadardhe Anya Yatnaha. Everybody is trying to achieve the favor of Lakshmi, Shri, but she is trying to attain the association of Krishna. Lakshmi is there in Vaikuntha, but even she desires to enter into association of Krishna. Actually, Krishna and Narayana are one and the same. But Krishna's sweetness attracts even the attention of Lakshmi, and even she desires to attain the association of Krishna. They are very confidential subjects. Then, Yan Nama Amangalagnam. Now, Krishna's Nama, it is Amangalagnam, means destroys the inauspiciousness. Just by uttering these two letters combined, Krishna, it destroys the inauspiciousness in the lives in the world of the living entities. And then Nama Amangalagnam Shrutam. Anyone who chants and hears Krishna's Nama, it destroys the inauspiciousness. And then he says, Shukadeva Goswami mentions one interesting word, Yat Kruto Gotra Dharmaha. Krishna is Yat Kruta. He is the one who has made, who has created Yat Krutaha Gotra Dharma. He has created the dharmas which are considered Gotra. Gotra Dharma. Dharmas which are coming in a lineage. Gotra also means protection of the earth. Go means it refers to the earth, and Tra means that which protects or delivers. So, Gotra Dharma, all these dharmas are considered to be protectors of the earth. That's why Dharma is also compared to a bull, supposed to protect the earth, the cow. So Krishna is considered as Yat Kruto Gotra Dharmaha. Jai Radha Govinda. He is the creator and he is the protector of these dharmas. So Prabhupada in one place he explains that there are 20 dharma shastras. These are considered the prominent shastras. 20 dharma shastras created by great sages like Parashara, Manu, and various other 16 sages. There are about 18 sages compiled these dharmas, dharma literatures. So, in those dharmic literatures, one can find various religious rituals by which a human being can peacefully live in this world. So, all those religious principles, sometimes they will be confusing. Parasara Smriti will mention certain things, and Manu Smriti mentions something else. And sometimes one Smriti mentions and some other Smriti doesn't mention. So there are what is known as Nibandhanas. Somebody has compiled something called Nibandhanas, which try to reconcile all this. Why somebody is mentioning, somebody is not mentioning. Somebody contradicts somebody else. They try to reconcile and then they compile one more called Nibandhanas. In North, there are some sages who have compiled Nibandhanas which are connected to a certain region. In South, like that, you will see variegatedness. The source is Vedas only, but then you see connected to the time, place and circumstances. These great sages have compiled all these smritis. There are something called sub-smritis, upasmritis. Actually, people will go crazy if you read all this. Actually, nowadays, if you see the modern media in this world, many people will be attacking Manusmriti because there are certain statements apparently connected to the caste system, as some statements connected to women, they are mentioned in the Manusmriti. Apparently, they are conflicting with the modern understanding. So that's why they keep criticizing this Manusmriti, and then probably they don't know other smritis. There are 18 are there. So Krishna has simplified all these dharmas. Krishna knows that in this age it is extremely difficult to reconcile and come up with a common understanding. So he simplified. That is one of his super excellence. And that's why it is called Yatkruto Gotra Dharma, the dharma which protects the earth. And what is that dharma? Krishna mentions, simplifies that in Bhagavad Gita, and he says, Sarva Dharman Parityatya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Whatever dharmas, whatever conflicts that you are all seeing, reject all those. Sarva Dharman Parityadya. And then, what is the dharma that Krishna is giving? Mamekam Sharanam Raja. You surrender unto me. Now, this is the essential point through which one should enter into Hinduism. What is that? Surrendering to Krishna is the summary of Hinduism. It is not only the summary of Hinduism, it is the summary of all the dharmas, all the religions that exist in this world. What is that? Surrendered to Krishna. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. So, this is the super excellence contribution of Krishna when he appeared. If Krishna says something, that is dharma. And if Krishna doesn't say, that is adharma. Whatever pleases Krishna is dharma, and whatever doesn't please Krishna is adharma. Very simple. That's why in Krishna consciousness, we got so much clarity. That is, somebody worshipping this, somebody is worshipping that, somebody is worshipping something else, somebody is doing this mantra, that. Immediately a Krishna conscious devotee knows where to place that particular ritual. He has a understanding, a comprehensive framework, and within which he knows where to place this particular ritual, this particular god, this particular activity. He has no confusion about how to understand Vishnu, Krishna, Shiva, Ganapati, Durga. He has no confusion with respect to understanding this Sandhya Vandana, or this chanting, this mantra, that mantra. This is Krishna consciousness. So, if somebody wants to get this clarity, he wants to get access to a beautiful and comprehensive framework of knowledge, which they loosely call it as Hinduism, then the entry point is Krishna consciousness, surrender to Krishna. And after entering this, then he will understand that Krishna consciousness is not only the entry point, but that is the destination also. He realizes that. So, here that's why Vidura is asking, Enava Bhagavam Stushye. What is that which satisfies Krishna? Completely satisfies the Lord. Dharma Yoni Janardana. So, Prabhupada mentions in the purport about father of all religious principles. So, this is one more confusion for a common man. He thinks, why there are so many religions? Actually, if God is one, then why there should be so many religions? Actually, it is a fact. If God is one, the path to reach Him is also should be one. In fact, religion is only one. It is revealed, or externally it appears that there are so many external differences are there. But the true religion is only one, and that is to love Krishna, or to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is religion. So, according to time, place and circumstances, great sages or great messengers or great sons of God, they appear and they reveal certain rituals, certain processes by which one can develop attachment to the Supreme Lord. So, all the religions, they talk about only one thing, how to develop attachment to the God, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everybody talks about that. But externally you may see some rituals and some processes may be different. Otherwise, religions cannot be many. There is only one religion. But then what happens? In practice, although they may say, love God, but in practice, you will see although they may say love of God, in practice you will see they create hatred. Any religion which creates hatred, dvesha, raga dvesha, vimukta. See, Bhagavad Gita talks about how we should be free from these dangerous emotions. One should be free from these two, raga and dvesha. So, any religion, whether it is Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, or any other path, which create hatred in the minds of the people, how can they expect love manifesting in the heart? If your heart is always burning with hatred, anger, how there can be love in the heart? It is common sense actually. It is a common sense. But unfortunately we see in the name of religion so much of venom, so much of hatred, so much of anger has been propagated. Those religions will take you nowhere. Paramo nirmasaranam satam vastavam vastu shivadam tapatraya unmulanam. Now what is that then I have to do? Those religions should be rejected. Those religions which invoke hatred and anger and all those, such religions should be rejected. And then what should be accepted? Paramo nirmasaranam satam. What should be accepted? The Bhagavatam Dharma. Why? Because it doesn't create any hatred in the hearts of the followers. Very important. No nirmasarata. It is paramo nirmasara. No masarata. No envy. Why this hatred? Because of envy. Oh, they are growing. Something is happening. They are increasing. I am not increasing. This masarata is there in all these religions which promote hatred. But there is hope in this world. What is that? There is a path which will free you from this envy. There is a path which will make you understand how to place all these religious paths and principles and rituals appropriately in your mind so that there is no envy against anybody. And that path is Vastavam Vastu Shivadam. It's a reality, the supreme truth, and that is the Bhagavad Dharma of surrendering to Krishna, a Krishna conscious path. So, we are fortunate to be in this path which is Paramo Nirmasaranam. Again, we should not fall into this envious hatred, fightings and this and that. Commenting on messengers, commenting on various sadhus and sages, munis and great, all those people. There is no, we should not develop any hatred. But to point out a thief as a thief, that is not a mistake. Factually telling that this particular sentence is not correct, factually telling that this philosophy is not correct, that is not wrong, that is not hatred. But to develop, so much of hatred inside the heart, that is wrong. For example, we accept Buddha as an incarnation of Vishnu, but we'll say the philosophy that ultimately everything is zero, that we don't accept. Ultimately, how everything can be zero? Philosophy we don't accept, but we have no hatred against Buddha. So similarly, many religions are promoting their own theories. Some people even say how to love God, some people say there is no God. We see so many theories. We have to factually see their statements, whether they are correct or not, and that's it. We are not going to be hateful about people who proposed those theories. In our religion, we don't hate any person. We hate his action. We hate the sinner. We hate the sin, not the sinner. Why? Because the person is always an eternal servant of Krishna, but he has forgotten. He is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but he has forgotten. And he is talking all nonsense now. So that nonsense we will point out. Look, Baba, your theory is a nonsense. For example, this fellow who is now propagating that there is no God, all these personalities, supreme personalities also, they are all normal people. And then Hinduism is confusing this and that. There is no confusion. Provided you come to a proper lineage, an ancient lineage, like this Krishna consciousness, then everything falls into one place. Finally, Shastra says, even if you hate one person, you will not be able to go back to Krishna. Even if you hate only one person, we will not be able to go back to the spiritual kingdom. Let us say not person, one animal, cow, let us say, or hating whole life, cow. You will not be able to promote to go back to spiritual kingdom. So all these religions which are spewing venom and hatred and all that, they're all going to be here only. There's no possibility. Because when you go to spiritual world, you cannot keep hating other varieties of pure devotees. So we have to be free from this massarata, envy. Then only there is a possibility of going back to Godhead. Any questions?
If you happen to be somewhere where a person is blaspheming Lord or devotees, we have been given different options, means how we have to retaliate, that either we have to defeat him or cut his tongue or suicide, all this. Now this world is connected globally.
Yeah.
We may not be physically present in the audience of those blaspheming.
Yes.
But we get that news over social media and all.
Yeah.
Now how I should retaliate?
Yeah. As I said, you have to see that a particular statement is blasphemous, and currently what we can do, what is practical, is run away from that place. Don't hear blasphemy of God, blasphemy of His pure devotees. And if, as you rightly said, it is all connected. You have those channels and YouTube and all those things. And this fellow is going to blaspheme, then why to listen to his classes or his snippets? Useless it is. Devotees have to be very smart. Listen only to Prabhupada and his bona fide Siksha Gurus. Why we should unnecessarily waste our time? There's one guru with a big beard and then goes all over and promotes useless concepts. Recently he is trying to save some soil. First he has to save himself. Save soil and all those things. There no need to save soil. You have to, this word is called Yatkruto Gotra Dharmaha. Gotra means it is the saver of the planet, includes soil also. The bull has 4 legs. If you can revive those 4 legs, automatically earth becomes saved. And Krishna did that. When he came, he established the dharmic principle. Whenever dharma declines, Krishna appears and he re-establishes. People don't need to take up some small issues. Save rivers, save soil, save trees, save this. First save yourself. Get a lot of money in the name of all this and utilize to propagate Nastikavada, atheism. They're all dangerous. They destroy this world by promoting that there is no God. So one should understand Yat Kruto Gotra Dharma. Only Dharma can protect this earth. And what is the Dharma that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given? Very simplified. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. You promote and propagate this Hare Krishna movement. It takes care of soil, it takes care of water, it takes care of farming, pollution, everything. Why? Because devotees will give up sinful activities. Those 4 sinful activities which will destroy the 4 legs of Dharma, that is a problem. So, moment devotees start following these things, automatically Dharma is established and then earth becomes this thing. Not only that, you will go back to Godhead. Yannama, Amangalagnam. These are the super excellences of Krishna. Everything is set in Krishna consciousness. Just that we have to go on propagating. This propagation of holy name is the contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He appeared to propagate Yuga Dharma. He personally did that. And in his lineage, you see, everybody did that. Goswamis have distributed books, handwritten books they have distributed. So, if you are in Krishna consciousness movement, you should be restless to distribute this Krishna consciousness. Distribute books, distribute holy name, distribute Krishna, distribute Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Should be restless. That preaching mood, vibration should be there. Although you may be doing some other services, which are all very important, but inside that attitude is there. Yes, I want to speak. Okay, so coming to his point, the other class also I was mentioning, previously people who only have access to Gramya Katha, the masala of the village, Grama, only one village masala they got access to. Village means you have 200, 300 houses or 400 houses. Something happened there, something happened there. This is the masala. Now what is happening because of this interconnectivity and network and this and that and all that, you have global masala. Gramya Katha has now turned into so much of negative, hateful venom is going into our heads. How can we manage? We're ordinary human beings. How can you manage so much of brainwashing? It's very dangerous. No human being can take this pressure. The next wave, they are saying it is robotic and artificial intelligence. That's not the wave. There is one more silent wave which is coming up, which is mental health. They are talking about mental health. Actually, what they have to say is mental illnesses. Instead, they have named it as the next industry which is going to be very popular is mental health industry. They are seeing great opportunities there. But they are not understanding why this mental health is. There was one article recently in Hyderabad, 80% of the youngsters, they are absorbed, it's called pubbing. They are absorbed in their mobile so much. They are not conscious of other people who are very close and sitting next to them. You go to the railway station now, or airport or wherever. I remember 20 years back when we go to the railway station, everybody used to talk to each other and this and that. And then suddenly there will be an announcement, the train is running late by 4 hours. They are not disturbed, continue to discuss, they share their food, they all sit there. You saw that? Now, you see how they are sitting. In the same bench, some 3-4 people are tucked inside and then everybody is absorbed in them. They don't even talk to the next person. Even in the airports, everywhere you see. This is called pubbing. Is not conscious. So youngsters are now so much into it. They are not even conscious. They are so much absorbed. Clicking this, clicking this, clicking. So don't think our world is going in a nice direction. Don't think that it is going to be anything better. Once in a while, reminders will come in the form of COVID. slow down, wait a minute. There is God. And you have to surrender to Him. Reminders will come. And if the human society doesn't take lessons, these reminders will increase. People will become mad. Already material life means madness. And within that there will be further madness. Okay, so don't tune into these channels. We know this guy is going to be like this. But these people know they're so nice in their oratory skills. They speak so well. And very nicely he'll builds up in that intellectual thing. And then he talks about this, he talks about that, all useless topics. He doesn't know what is the real thing. Dharma yoni, he doesn't know who is that Dharma yoni. The original source, they think it's all void or impersonal and this and that. So this is the danger. And also it shows that how much we all have to work hard. Devotees have to nicely preach, spread this movement. But spreading this movement is not only about giving some exciting classes. It's also about building institution. We have to build temples. We have to build within the temples structures, processes and systems, and then ensure that this organization goes on generation after generation. Meanwhile, the so-called gurus will come and go. And then there won't be anybody to listen to their recorded classes. Nobody bothers. Did anybody goes back and try to hear what was the class given by some old sage or some modern guru? Nobody bothers. So that's why it is very important that we build up holistically our movement. Prabhupada has already given all the formulas. Then we can nicely spread this movement. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణ వాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700.